Hello everyone and welcome to episode 84 of the Video Games Ahoy Podcast. Wow. I'm your host, Jonathan Radford, and today I'm joined by a man who is Phil Spencer's best friend. It's Davy G!
Hi. Hi everyone.
I didn't know how else to introduce you, and then I realized that you are Phil Spencer's best friend.
Well, I think of myself more as his promoter, like his hype man.
Yeah, but hype men can still be best friends.
Hey, if we've learned anything today, let's keep that lesson in mind.
Exactly, hype your pals. Should we just change the podcast and all we'll do is just we'll hype people up, just constantly.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone right now. I mean, I've given you a pretty good hype. You're Phil Spencer's best friend. That's. I mean, I don't think it gets any higher praise than that. I don't think it gets higher. Phil Spencer's best friend.
That's the top. Although maybe Jim Ryan's feeling pretty hyped right now.
Yes, he is. Do you know we're going to talk about breaking news.
Breaking news
from probably about 9 minutes ago. That's how ahead of the curve we are. It's not because I happened to randomly be looking on Twitter. No. We will get onto our sources, and Jason Schrier is one of them.
You're Jason Schreier's best friend.
Well, do you know what? I read his book and then I sent him a tweet, and he was like, "Do you want to be best friends?" I was like, "I think we already are." I think
you were like, "Nah, bro, I ain't got time."
Yeah. Well, now I got loads of time. I finished my course, so I'm free man.
I'm
going to miss everyone that was in. Yes. I am officially a game designer.
Video Games Ahoy Publishing House.
I haven't decided what game yet. Maybe I don't know. Actually, I did have to create a little text-based adventure game. Maybe that's what we are. Maybe we are the, is it quantum, what do they call it?
Quantic Dream.
That's the one. Maybe we're the Quantic Dream, except we're not run by someone who has a questionable past. Let's just leave it at that.
Well, we are. Yeah,
that's true. Dav, how are you?
Hi. I'm good, thanks. I love a bit of breaking news.
It is.
How are you?
It is pretty crazy. We will get onto the breaking news, and it's really saucy as well because I looked through the news for today, and I already had prepped in my mind to be like, Dav, we've not really got that much big news. We've got lots of medium to small size stuff, which is fine. Sometimes they're the best ones because we can go off. We can go off topic easily. I mean, we do that anyway, but we can go off topic easily. We talk about other things when there's breaking news. It's delicious. Anyway, let's talk about the podcast first, and then we'll get on to that there breaking news. We're Video Games Ahoy.
We are.
We are. On YouTube and Spotify and Amazon and Google Podcasts and all of the places that you usually listen to podcasts. We're probably there. And if we're not, then tell us.
Please give us those 5 stars.
Yes, give us 5 stars, please. We are 5-star men. I hope you get the reference, because otherwise that sounds really arrogant.
Nope. Just roll with it.
Yeah, if you don't get the reference, it's just really we're 5-star men. That's all. But otherwise, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna try and keep it to a minimum because I have a feeling the next topic might be quite a juicy one. Hey, Caddy, how's it going?
Welcome on in, Cuddy.
Hopefully when Chickpea comes around, I'm gonna give her a little surprise as well because we'll see if Chickpea comes along, and then I'll tell her of my surprise. Anyway, let's get on to breaking news, Dav.
Breaking news!
Perfect. I just wanted to give it a little bit of air, a little bit of space so that it could breathe, because that was perfect. I don't think I could have done any better.
Right,
anyway.
Let's do it again in silence so we can sample it. Breaking news!
Perfect.
Yep.
Breaking news. Sony is buying Bungie. What the hell? Where did that come from? That came from the mouth of Jason Schrier less than 12 minutes ago on their Twitter. If you don't know who Bungie are, they basically made Halo. So that's pretty considering the circumstances of the last 2 weeks with Microsoft purchasing Activision and then buying Crash Bandicoot. Now, I know that Sony haven't bought Halo, but they've bought the people that made Halo, which is kind of let's
and Activision published
they did Destiny as well. Yeah, like it's a mad one. I'm going to read out the whole tweet because it's literally 4 lines. So breaking. Sony is buying Bungie, the maker of Destiny, another seismic gaming deal that comes just 2 weeks after Microsoft purchased Activision Blizzard. Bungie put Xbox on the map, now it's part of PlayStation Studios. File to Bloomberg Terminal, hitting web soon.
How much for?
I think
I'll tell you how much for.
I think it's 3.4 billion?
3.6 billion.
I knew it was in the threes. I couldn't remember which of the threes point it was.
Chump change.
Yeah.
Absolute chump change.
I mean, compared to... It is pretty funny. It's pretty funny that, like, last week we were just, like, 67 billion, and now it's, like, 3.6. Yeah. It's nothing. I mean, Sony could have done more, really.
Do you know what the funny thing is? It was 68.7 billion, which, like, you know, you were very close with that number. But that's $1.7 billion off.
Yeah,
it's so impossible to conceive. It's like you can't even round that up to 70 million because that's still another 1.3 billion that you'd be rounding up.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and I don't know how. Well, again, I said this last week. I don't know how I feel about acquisitions, and now I'm starting to really worry that everyone's just going to be bought up, and then that's it. And it's just like. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. And it's weird because Dad, you actually made a really, really, really genuinely good point. Dad said just before we came on, he said that like this wouldn't have been arranged like within this couldn't have been arranged in the last week. So this would have been in the happening months and months ago. So this would have happened regardless of Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard. So this was going to happen anyway. And so like on that, I guess it's just like. There is a part of me that's really worried that it's just going to be... And the thing is, Microsoft's always going to win that. But it's just going to be who buys up what studios and when. I don't know. I guess, from a Sony perspective, they've got Bungie. Apparently, the last Destiny game was pretty good. I've never played a Destiny game, but apparently it's pretty good.
Well, yeah, so like the mechanics are obviously really tight. Bungie, that's what they're great at. They GoldenEye, you have Doom, who sort of basically created first-person shooting. Then you've got GoldenEye, who brought it up another level, and then you've got Halo.
The Halo, yeah, set the standard. Halo. Yeah, they set the standard. Yeah, exactly.
And Halo transformed first-person shooting, and sort of you being able to maneuver a 3D environment while shooting first-person. Completely changed the game. So like they know how to build a game. And actually, I think first-person shooters is kind of a really big blank spot in Sony's portfolio.
Oh, big time, 100%. We said this last week, actually, didn't we? We said like they have loads of third-person adventure games, but what first-person games do they have? Well, they got Bungie, and they got Destiny. I mean, funny enough, I've said every week I've been reading Jason Schreier's book, Blood, Sweat and Pixels, my best friend, Jason Schreier. And one of the chapters is about the original Destiny game. Yeah. And it's so like it's really interesting because like I've been reading a lot about Bungie recently and a lot about how much they wanted to get away from Xbox, and then obviously since then they wanted to separate from Activision. So it'd be really interesting to see what happens with Sony now because they've already left 2 partnerships. It'd be interesting to see how this arrangement is going to go, and whether Destiny 3 is going to. Well, it's going to be. I think the difference is with Xbox. We never knew. Like Xbox has a relationship with the other companies where like Minecraft is on other consoles. Yeah. Like, they have a history of still keeping stuff on other consoles. Whereas Sony, there's no way Destiny is going on.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, all the Sony fanboys last week going, oh, I hope they keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. It would be so awful if they made all these games exclusives. There is no way that they're going to let Bungie games stay on both platforms. You think Destiny 3 is going to be an Xbox game? You're having a laugh. Absolutely not. Like, Sony do not care. Like, they want everyone playing on a PlayStation. That's how their business model works. And that's what they're going to do. Like, forget it. Like, it's just a step closer to PlayStation like it's bonkers. Like last week, everyone's like, "Oh, are Microsoft going to be a monopoly? Are they?" It's like this. Even with the acquisition of Activision Blizzard, they're still third in the gaming space behind Tencent and Sony.
Yeah.
And so now someone that's already above Microsoft has just acquired another studio. Tencent are probably going to acquire another 50 studios this year, and that's not even a hyperbole. Like,
no,
what's
totally
going to happen. So, like, I feel like a lot of people throw around. I don't know. It just seems like Sony has such a fervent fan base that they really do dominate a conversation on the interwebs.
I think anyone that likes any of the console war people can get in the. As I use the Zach Hamilton term, get in the bin.
Get in the bin and play Skyrim Bin Edition.
There probably is a version. That's the thing.
Absolutely.
Like, I can just imagine it now. Like, but I again, I'll say the same thing as last week. As I said, this, like, I agree. Like, I'm just worried that it's just going to be acquisition upon acquisition until basically there's nothing really in the middle and everything is first party. And I know, like, weirdly, like, that is Nintendo's whole thing, but like, at least with Nintendo, they never really bought anyone. Everything they've made is everything they've made. Like, and I respect that. But like with Sony now buying Bungie, it's like, I don't know, just stop, stop, crying out loud. Before, I don't know. I'm just a weirdo talking on the internet, but I feel very worried. But yeah, at least with Activision last week, there was a thing behind it where they were run by an evil monster, whereas
we haven't really heard any bad news out of Bungie Studio.
They were in Blood, Sweat and Pixels. They did crunch, but then pretty much every studio is crunching, sadly.
Yeah,
so it's not really.
That is a trend that is hopefully getting worked out of the industry.
Yeah,
but it takes time. It takes time because studios. A lot of studios schedule in your crunch period.
Yeah,
and it's such a part of the mentality and the ethos in a game studio. So we'll see.
But anyway, that is their breaking news. I imagine there'll be there more breaking news further on the line. But that is pretty mad. 20 minutes ago from my pal Jason Schrier. Maybe that's what the title of the episode is going to be. My pal Jason Schrier.
My pal. I mean, if the title isn't Sony buys Bungie, then we're doing ourselves a disservice.
Yeah, let's put them both down. There we go.
Sony buys Bungie, according to my pal Jason Schrier.
Via Jason Schrier. There we go. Jason Schrier.
Via Bezzy, mate.
Bezzy. Jason. Oh, maybe JS. The big
J Schry?
The big JS. Big J Schry.
Yeah. Schrier River.
Oh, well, I mean, that's just taking everything. Schrier River. There we are, done. I got to remember that. I will forget. Schrier River. Schrier River. Anyway, back to the news. More news. So much news. I'm covered in it. Pokemon Legends. Arceus. I don't know which one it is, and people keep saying them both. So I'm just going to say Pokemon Legends A.
Jonny, let me clear this up once and for all. It is Arceus.
Yes.
You have to say both.
You have to say both. I think maybe that's what it is. And I just want to know which one it is. I just don't know which one it is. Because everyone keeps saying with such confidence as well. That's the thing that confuses me.
I think it's both, but people are concerned that Arceus sounds a bit like Ark, and they don't want to be rude.
Anyway,
whereas, Arceus doesn't sound like anything.
No, it doesn't sound like anything. Arceus, no. All right. Anyway, Dav, you'll appreciate this. Anyway, Pokemon Legends has enjoyed huge launch sales in the UK. The latest physical data sales are revealed, and the crazy thing with that is that about half of the sales nowadays are digital. So the fact that that's incredible physical sales as well is pretty cool. As reported by VGC's network partner, GamesIndustry.biz, Arceus accounted for nearly half of all boxed game sales last week and is the fourth biggest Pokemon UK game launch of all time, selling more than last year's Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. In the UK, only Alpha, Sapphire, Omega Ruby, Sword Shield, and Sun and Moon enjoyed bigger launches. That's impressive. Considering as well, a Pokemon game came out less than 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I think it probably
really
helped.
impressive.
I think it probably helped that Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl was really lackluster.
Was it not very good?
It was fine. Nothing more, nothing less than that. So, I think it probably helped that people were like, oh, that didn't scratch my Pokemon itch.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I imagine we'll talk about it later on, so we won't stay on this story for too long, but I mean, that's really impressive. Like, especially considering Alpha, Sapphire, Omega Ruby, and Sun and Moon were, 10 years old? I don't know, I'm guessing. I don't know Pokemon that well, but they must be, at least, because I don't remember a Pokemon game since at least, 2015. So, nearly 10 years old, which is crazy. You know, like we say, most sales these days are either digital or it's on the cusp of being half and half. But yeah, that's the next thing. Moving on to another Sony story, which now kind of feels for two reasons. One, because it's specifically about one game that I don't care about. And two, considering the news that we've just had, feels also like, meh. Anyway, Sony's announced that a new State of Play presentation is happening this week.
This Wednesday.
Yes.
Let's go, State of Play.
Except that it's only about Gran Turismo 7, and they've since said that will be the only thing shown. So we had a conversation earlier saying maybe we'll stream it, but I'm leaning towards maybe not now because I don't know. I don't really care about Gran Turismo 7, but then I also is it like a double bluff?
Who knows?
That's the thing. You don't know. Anyway, I'll read up the tweet. Sony's announced that a new State of Play presentation based on Gran Turismo 7 will be shown this week. The presentation will take place on Wednesday, February the 2nd at 2 p.m. Pacific Time and 5 p.m. Eastern Time and 10 p.m. GMT. Delicious GMT. According to Sony, the presentation will be solely focused on Gran Turismo 7 and will not feature any other games. The show will last for just over 30 minutes and will consist of new PS5 footage and gameplay details. Dav, is your belly tickled by this news, or have you rolled over and run away?
I have rolled over and scratched my belly on a nearby rock.
Okay.
And that nearby rock is more Sony news, but also Xbox news. You want to hear it?
Yes.
MLB The Show 2022 coming to Game Pass day one.
There we go.
MLB The Show being a PlayStation-owned game, the studio behind MLB is PlayStation Studio. So
it's the second year in a row, isn't it?
Yeah. So you know what? I mean, that game is a PlayStation-owned game, and it's on Game Pass. You can get it on Xbox.
Yep.
Right? You have things like Fallout 76, Elder Scrolls Online, Minecraft, all these things on different platforms, right? On PlayStation, and Call of Duty is going to stay. At least Warzone's going to stay.
Yeah.
Maybe we're just we need to renew the conversation about exclusives.
Except for Nintendo.
Oh, well, yeah.
No, but you're right. Maybe we're just being too I don't know. Maybe we grew up in an era when exclusives were just exclusives. You know, we did grow up in that era, but maybe we're being too cynical. Maybe we need to be cynic-less, not cynical. I don't know.
Cynic more.
Cynic more, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think maybe we see Destiny staying on Xbox. Maybe Sony are no longer behind the times in terms of how to treat its consumer.
Yeah. It will be interesting. It will be interesting, especially when obviously by the time this podcast finishes, we'll be able to read a bit more about it as well because that was genuinely breaking news story, but. Yeah, you're right. It is. It could just be that we are old men setting our old ways, and my ways being slightly more older than yours, because I'm a little bit older. But yeah, State of Play on Wednesday. Maybe I'll watch it. I think we might, just because Daft Week said he might show up, and that might be enough of a reason to stream it. Except
absolutely
until he finds out it's only Gran Turismo 7 and doesn't give a shit and doesn't want to turn up.
Hey, guess what happened 1 minute ago?
What?
my best mate, Phil Spencer.
Phil Spencer.
Congrats to the talented teams at Bungie. Great testament to your creativity. And congrats to PlayStation and Herman Hulst on adding a talented team to your studio's team.
Oh, Herman Hulst. He posted something really cryptic earlier.
Or beforehand.
Yeah, literally like a couple of hours ago. But it was weirdly, it was to do with the state of play, but he just posted one that was like...
Those side eyes.
Yeah, he did. He posted side eyes. And I was like, what's that? Why is he giving us all the side eyes?
Oh, well, Destiny 2 DLC is coming out in February.
Is it really?
So maybe we see Destiny 2 DLC in the state of play.
I just had a voice message from Zach. Zach's busy boy, he can't be here today. But I just had a voice message from Elsie. We said, I'll wait till the end, but it'd be really funny if he's commented and say, "What the fuck is going on?" Anyway, let's move on. Just because we've got a couple more news stories. This actually wasn't a story, Dav. But did you watch Royal Rumble?
Yeah, I did.
Did you see the? Well, you must have seen the new footage for WWE. I haven't actually got this down as a story.
I did.
I just reminded myself. It looks alright. It looks pretty, like I'm hopeful. I'm
tentatively optimistic.
Yes, me too. And I've been looking forward to a good wrestling game for a good long while. So I'm definitely gonna buy it. Maybe I'll wait for reviews, but I don't know. It looked good.
I'm probably going to wait for it to come onto Game Pass.
That's true. It does feel like one of those games. It'd be really fun if AEW goes on Game Pass as well, and then like both of them have a little battle. That would be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was,
also
go.
Other things that were advertised this weekend during the NFL, the AFC Conference Championship game. We saw our first footage of the Halo TV series coming.
Yes, that was my last news story, but we can talk about it now. It's fine.
I jumped in ahead of it.
No, it's fine. What did you think? What were your thoughts?
As a Halo fan who's liked the series since its inception, I got to say I was quite happy with it. I think it's a shame they couldn't keep the voice of Steve Downes, the voice of Master Chief.
Yeah, because they've kept what's her name? Jen
Cortana.
Yeah, Cortana's there. Jen Taylor, I think her name is. I think it's her name.
Yeah, sure. Jen something.
I agree. It would be nice.
And I don't hate the new look for Cortana. I don't know what the internet's opinion is, but I think it looks fine. And I don't know. Sometimes with these series, the graphics just seems a bit too. The lighting seems a bit off, and the CGI seems a bit much. So we'll see. But I am optimistic, and I don't know how I'm going to watch it because I'm not getting Paramount Plus to add on to all the other subscriptions I have.
I'm not even sure if it's available to us. We are UK based, and we don't get that much.
It'll be on something, but maybe. Like Now TV or something, I don't know.
Yeah, Now TV feels like a show.
But if and when I'm able to access it, I will hopefully enjoy myself watching that show.
Yeah, I'll definitely give it a watch. Because it does look, the production values look pretty good. Right, I'm going to rattle through these final couple of stories really quickly. One of them was that Final Fantasy VII's Part 2 game is apparently going to be announced and shown this year, as said by Yoshinori Kitase, also known as, I believe is that Yoshi P? I believe that's Yoshi P. Anyway, no, that's Final Fantasy VII's original director. That's not the Yoshi I'm thinking of. Anyway, basically said, we are hard at work with Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, so please look forward to that. In addition, with regards to the long-awaited Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, there will be more information this year if we can. So, yeah. I mean, we could see the second game at least shown. Oh, here we go. Bondos.2K UK. Hi, Carl. Paramount Plus will launch on Sky platforms in the UK, and Sky Cinema subscribers will get the bonus of Paramount Plus included at no additional cost. It will also be available through the Paramount Plus app for iOS and Android and across supported connected TV devices and platforms. Carl, that's a well-written comment.
A well copy and pasted comment.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Thank you for that. Yeah, so Now TV. There we go. Halo on Now TV.
But yeah, so another thing as well, it's the 25th, I think it was like 2 days ago or yesterday, 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII's release. So that's why they're doing a big song and dance about it this year. So if we do get to see Part 2's reveal trailer or something about the game, I'm going to be really, 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 really happy. I think I said last year in one of our predictions, I think that's what I said last year. I don't think I said it again this year.
No.
And Jason Schrier. Podcast sponsored by Phil Spencer and Jason Schrier. my best friend. Anyway,
currently under investigation by Jason Schrier.
That's probably more likely. New footage has been revealed. So this is another story linked to Jason Schrier and Blood, Sweat and Pixels because I just read about this in another chapter.
Oh,
new footage has been revealed of the abandoned Star Wars 1313 project. The gameplay released by Battlefront 3 research site The Vulture as Boba Fett as a protagonist as he makes his way through a series of unfinished locations. It was a game that got cancelled by the Disney acquisition. When they acquired LucasArts Games, I think, or LucasArts at the time, and Disney canned it. And it was actually a really, really sad chapter in the book because it talks a lot about that. It was really, really sad, but it's definitely
Amy Hennig.
Amy, yes. And what's really sad is that I think she had just come from.
Naughty Dog, wasn't it?
She was working for Naughty Dog, but I think she was working for Naughty Dog at the same time because she was about to do Uncharted, or either that or she was doing Uncharted at the same time, and she stopped doing Uncharted 4, which led to Neil Druckmann taking over, which is what I'll talk about later because that's the game I've been playing. Anyway, so the game didn't look amazing. I think it's just more like the saddest thing about it, obviously, apart from all those people losing their jobs, which is really sad, especially as they've been told. At no point were they told that things are going to go bad. They were always told just keep going as you are and you'll be fine. And then obviously everything got pulled, which is awful. I think the saddest thing really is that we don't get many Star Wars games like that in the Star Wars world where you're playing as a character that doesn't have Jedi powers. You're not flying in a plane. So to play as Boba Fett would have been so interesting, so cool, and just so different. I think that's the saddest thing, really.
Well, the thing about Star Wars is that the films are average, but the world is so good.
Yeah, the world's amazing.
So, I love these. I like the Book of Boba Fett that's out at the moment. I'm really enjoying it. Really loving a slice of Star Wars life outside of the old light versus dark Jedis versus Sith. And The Mandalorian, while maybe I don't think it's the best show on TV, I enjoyed it a lot.
Different, different at least.
Exactly.
But yeah, well, I guess we'll just have to see how that. Because there's a lot of people who said that they want to try and see if they can get the game back up and running. But it would just be nice to have a new game from a different perspective, and maybe that's one of the 3 games that are currently being made of Star Wars. I think who's making? I can't remember. That was the story from last week, but I can't remember who's making them. But there are
Respawn.
3. There we are. 3 current Star Wars games being made. So maybe one of them will be something a bit more interesting. And final news story, and this is a very, very quick one, and that's 2 Point Campus will be released on May 17th. Day 1 for Game Pass on console and PC, but it's also coming out on PS4, Steam, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch, which is pretty cool. I enjoyed 2 Point Hospital, and I'm definitely going to play it because it's on Game Pass, and I have that. So,
yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to you possibly streaming it one day. That would be a fun stream to watch.
Maybe. It's one of the, for me though, with games like that I get really frustrated, so I'd just be on stream
really?
and then laugh my head off.
That's an interesting watch.
Yeah, that is true.
I'd watch that.
And then that is the end of our news.
Wow.
That is
no
it.
more news for the rest of our lives.
That's it. No more news until Jason Schreier posts something, and then I'll keep breaking news. Dav.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Pokemon Legends? Yes.
I absolutely want to talk about Pokemon Legends Arceus. This game is a sensation. It is... I don't know, because it's not groundbreaking. It is copying a Monster Hunter game and a certain Zelda game from 2017. Mashing those together, taking out a bit of production quality and adding in several hundred Pokemon.
Can I just tell you very quickly, Rosie, I told Rosie about this, and it kind of looks like Breath of the Wild, and I hadn't played it. And do you know what she called it?
What?
Breath of the Wild Pokemon. And I was like, oh, that's actually quite clever.
Breath of the Wild Pokemon.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild Pokemon. I really enjoyed that. Anyway, just wanted to get out there.
Well, if Rosie ever wants to step in for you for a week, I think that'd be great.
Well, the standards will improve.
Oh, at least.
And appearances will improve as well.
Exponentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really enjoying this game, and I'd say I've put about 16 hours into it, 1/6.
Okay.
And I will be streaming it tonight.
Nice.
And I think that the crux of what makes it good is you don't know what's coming around the corner. And for too long with a Pokemon game, you kind of do know what's coming around the corner. You play Sword and Shield, and it's so fundamentally underwhelming on almost every level that any new Pokemon you find, it's just not exciting because you've been so like dullified by your experience up to that point. You go, oh yeah, look, a Pokemon I've not seen before. Let's catch that. Whereas like this one, it's like I walk around the corner and I see a Vulpix, and I'm like, oh, sick! Vulpix is in this. Yeah. Awesome. Or like I was just like you're just roaming around and you just see a little Togepi, and you're like, oh my god. Right, okay, I've got to be really careful because I don't know because whenever you find a wild Pokemon, they're one of three things. They either don't care that you're there, they run away, or they attack you, right?
Oh, nice.
And so, like, you got to be really careful. If it's one that runs away, even if you engage it in combat, it can still just run away right there and then, and then it's gone. So, like, you've got to be really careful with that. So, like, you see a Togepi was, like, right by my feet, and I was like, oh, okay, I've got to be really careful here because I really want this Togepi, and I've got to make sure that I don't know what thing it's going to... So I threw a Pokeball in the back of its head, caught it, love it. And then, like, just like I found an Eevee. And they've got these things, right? These sort of... when you get about 10 hours in, called distortions, which are sort of some bizarre rift in space and time. It's never really explained. But these purple domes appear in the world, and you go into one, you hang about for a bit, and then eventually this purple lightning starts striking, and then there spawns like 4 different Pokemon, all wanting to attack you at the same time, and you can only ever put one out at the same time. But then within those, it's all like randomized. So like I found my first Magnemite in a purple thing, and then after I caught that Magnemite, I was running around for a bit, hoping for something else. And then at the same time, I had to fight a Mr. Mime, a Kadabra, a Flareon, and a Rhydon.
Nice.
Like, all these like sick Pokemon are coming at me. I'm like, oh, damn, okay. Well, I have not seen any of these in the wild. How the hell am I going to catch them? So you've got to like pick your battles. Like, right, which one am I going to take down first? And then hopefully like none of them run away and stuff. And yeah, some really nice sort of impromptu randomized stuff going on. And then the main quest is whatever. I've done 2 of the, I think there's 5 boss fights against these nobles, these noble lords and ladies. So like you've seen like the Cleavor and the Bascu Legion and stuff like that. Some of them are mounts, and some of them are these nobles that you have these sort of action-based boss fights against. But it's basically you just throw food at them and you dodge them when they try and attack you. That's pretty much all it is.
That's kind of what Rosie does to me. Like, she just throws food at me, and then as I'm walking through the house,
just swiping. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and the Pokédex. Oh, dude, there's so many changes in this game that are just so good. So, for instance, when your Pokemon learns a new move, it doesn't just delete an old move. It goes into their bank of moves. So at any point, you go to that Pokemon, check what moves they know, and you can...
That's so much better.
Yeah. You can
How the hell is it taking this long to do that? That's such a good idea.
And filling the Pokedex isn't just about seeing and catching them. It's about seeing certain behaviors, or like seeing... So like, for instance, a Starly, which is a little bird Pokemon, sort of an equivalent to Pidgey, right?
Yeah.
Next, in its Pokedex entry, it'll have like number caught, number defeated in battle, and like number of times where you've seen it be defeated by an electric type move, or number of times you've seen it use aerial ace and stuff like that, and a number of times you've seen it evolve and stuff like that. And through that, you can build up your research level. And once you've ticked off 10 of them, or there are some that are like more important than others and worth double, once you get up to a number of 10, that Pokedex entry for that Pokemon is completed.
Right.
But you can carry on and do all the rest of them. And if you do all the rest of them, then your shiny odds are like massively increased.
Right, okay.
So then you could, if you do it all for like, let's say Scyther, and then you're wandering around, your chances of seeing a shiny Scyther are now much higher. And you actually see the shinies in the wild, all roaming, because there are no what do you call them? Is it blind encounters or random encounters?
Yeah, random encounters, yeah.
There are no random encounters. It's only the Pokemon that you see in the open world, the Pokemon that you fight. And there are these alphas, which is like much stronger versions that you see with red eyes, and they're much bigger. And you can catch them, or you can defeat them. And either way, you get a bunch of XP for your team. But yes, then when it comes to evolving a Pokemon, because of the research levels and stuff, you don't it just says can evolve. And so when you're ready to evolve them, go into your menu, click on them, click evolve, bang, then they evolve. And then you can try and do the research levels for the next evolution, so on and so forth. And then you've got some quests. You can have side quests as well. So there's one person who's obsessed with seeing the different forms of Pokemon. So first they wanted to see the male and female Hippopotas. Now they want to see the east and west versions of Shellos. And one of my Shellos is ready to evolve. But I'm like, hold on, side quest, pop that in the box, go and find the other Shellos so I can put them both together, show this person. Bosh, side quest done. They give me items. Yum, yum, yum. There's crafting now. So you don't need to buy a single item in the game. You can craft them all.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, your Pokeballs, your potions, your revives, and you get a ton of berries and stuff. And the best way to get them is at any point you can just throw your Pokemon out in the wild, right? So if you see a tree with berries on it, you just press right trigger, throw your whichever Pokemon you've got. Not at the top of your party, but you can press L1 and R1 to cycle through them. So you're like, right, okay, what I want to do is I'm going to press right trigger to throw my my Squirtle at this tree. Then that Squirtle's going to hit the tree. It's going to take the berries and give them to you. Meanwhile, you press R1, you see another tree, bang another Pokemon at that, and you can have 6 of them going at the same time while you're running. So you're not having to stop to like collect all this stuff. And they do the thing, give you the item, they go back into your Pokeball, and everything's just streamlined. You carry on with that.
That's really cool.
And then you press X, and instead of cycling through your Pokemon, you're cycling through the items that you can use in the open world.
Yeah.
Such as your Pokeballs, your Lures, your stuff like that, your smoke bombs, so that you can sneak up on certain Pokemon. And yeah, just the wonder and the you'll know this from playing Xenoblade Chronicles, right? You're going through the open world and you're defeating all these things, and then this thing that's like 40 levels higher than you.
Yeah,
it's just like you're like, right, I am avoiding that son of a gun.
Yep.
You get the same feeling in this Pokemon game, right? So you're walking around and you're beating up all these little Parases, and then like who are like level like 10 Parases, and then you turn around, there's level 50 Parasect going, what? Come on then. And you're like, okay. Yeah, and just slowly move back into the Homer Simpson bush.
Yeah.
And yeah, this just the exploration is just so lovely. And like I catch myself going when I like see like a Growlithe, I'm like, it's the thing. Which is nice.
It's nice to hear.
That's what it's about.
Because I know you're such a big Pokemon fan as well, so it's actually quite just nice for you to like. Because I know there's been a lot of complaints about the graphics not being particularly good.
Yeah, they are not great.
Like, and I think that's the thing that sucks really, is that like it sounds like they've made a genuine. Like I've seen the reviews for it. Like some people have said it's like one of the best. It's the best thing to happen to Pokemon in like 25 years. But Game Freak still don't know how to make a good looking game, and it's just like I don't know. Like that's the like not so much that's a sad thing for me. I'm just glad that it's not completely off-putting, and the game is still really fun, because ultimately that is the most important thing more than anything else. It doesn't really matter how a game looks.
Yeah,
it's how
so
it plays.
If there are like Pokemon in the foreground and Pokemon in the background, you might see like a Staravia, a flying bird Pokemon in the background, and the wings do this.
Yeah.
And then once you defeat the Pokemon that's in front of you, and they're like, oh, I don't have to generate as much. I don't have to use so much processing power. Slowly the bird just goes, oh, okay, right, I can fly properly now. Okay. But it's absolutely mad. Like the first hour into the game, you're in an office, you're talking to an NPC, and there's an Abra in the corner, and the tail is just doing that.
That's so weird. It's really funny because like a lot of people I've seen talking about the game's graphics, they've just been saying that like up close and like say like the short distances and maybe to the medium distances, it just looks like a Switch game, but it is the depth that's when it really starts looking a bit rough. It's like the things in the background, but and then again I've seen some pictures where like it at least has an aesthetic that like lets it get away with stuff. Again, I've not played it, but from what I've seen, it looks like it gets away with stuff. So that's at least a good choice design.
The resolution is rough. Yeah, it's like Wii levels. And the frame rate is choppy, especially in handheld mode. Okay. Docked, the frame rate can sort itself out, but a bit weird. But it looks nice. You know, it's got that sort of nice, cartoony, kid-friendly appeal that Pokemon games have. But it feels like a game that isn't necessarily just aimed at kids.
And hey,
it's
a stepping stone, man. That's what it sounds like. At least it's like the response has been, like you said, most people saying it's the best Pokemon game in a while. Like, hopefully, Game Freak will go, okay, well, maybe we continue down this avenue instead.
For me, I think it's the best Pokemon game since Red and Blue.
There we are. Well, that's what I mean. Like, I've heard numerous people saying that. Like, I've heard numerous people saying this is the game they've been wanting since Red and Blue. This is the game they saw when they were playing those games, and like to hear you say, like, not specifically that, but like stuff like that. You know, like this is everything I wanted that Pokemon has not really done in the last 20 years. That's awesome. You know, that you can't argue with that.
And they've changed like so small things, like so you know how every Pokemon starts off with like Tackle and Growl or like Peck and Leer. Growl's gone, Leer's gone, all Defense Curl's gone. Like all these rubbish little moves that no one ever used are gone. And they've been replaced by really good moves. So like I started off with the Rowlet and it started off with Gust. And then at level 6 learned Leafage. So it's already got 2 attack moves, 1 flying, 1 grass. It's a grass flying type. But what more could you possibly want from a starter at level 6? And the HP is really different. So you've got a lot more HP now when you're a low level. And it's not as easy to like you're walking through the wild and you come across a level 2 Bidoof or something, right? And you attack it with like your best move and it won't kill it. If you're a level 6 something, it won't kill level 2. Whereas like beforehand, you're like, right, snooze. And a potion now does like 60 HP. And it's just like they've actually gone into the formula of what makes a Pokemon game and made differences, made changes. And it's just like, wow, it's amazing how well received it is when you make these changes. Please carry on making changes. Please like innovate upon the process that you've been doing, because that's the reason why people thought that Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl sucks. It's the reason why people think Sword and Shield suck, because they didn't change anything.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, like I've said this. If I said at the start, if I had 50 quid that was just disposable income, I would have bought the game. I don't have it right now. Whilst I'm on the job hunt, and that's fine. You know, like if I had money, I would have bought it, because it's the only game that's intrigued me. I bought Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu because it was the first game, and I was like, I'll play the first game again, and I got my nostalgia pang from that. But none of the other games have intrigued me. This one has, so and I guess that's what they needed to do. But
and also like if you're trying to do the thing where you sort of catch a bunch of the same Pokemon, right? Maybe you're looking for a better one, or you're just trying to fill in the reports on the Pokedex. When you then get rid of all those other Pokemon, you get this stuff called like grit. You can have like grit gravel, grit pebbles, the rest of it. Give that to your Pokemon that you keep, and you can put up their effort levels. So all of a sudden they could be really slow. You give them a lot of grit stuff, and over time you can have their speed level at 9, and then so every time they get a level up, they get a better boost to those stats. So like they are rewarding you in every way for playing the game how it's supposed to be played. Like thinking of Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, you're catching a bunch of Pokemon because it's pretty much the only thing you can do. Right? You can't battle wild Pokemon.
No.
And you're like, right, well, I guess I'll just get rid of all these. Like, but like in Pokemon Go, for instance, you get rid of your Pokemon that you catch, and you get candies. You can level up those species of Pokemon. So they it's just so refreshing to know that they're actually listening and actually like seeing how people play their games and seeing how they can improve.
Yeah, and the thing as well is that it's also nice that like you specifically as a big Pokemon fan just have some surprises, because it must be frustrating to like, because I guess like with Zelda, for instance, as an example, you still kind of know the type of things that it's going to hit, but you still get there still are surprises, and because you don't know what's going to be in the game. But like with Pokemon, sometimes it's just like it does feel like it's very much like this is how we do it, and we're not going to deviate from it that much. So it's nice for you to be able to just have some surprise and be, oh shit, I wasn't expecting that, or this is new, this is great.
Yeah, like luckily for my enjoyment of the game, I already have a strong attachment to Pokemon.
Yeah.
But like, in Breath of the Wild, when you start finding random Korok seeds, and you're like, oh, look at that. Look at those 2 trees down that hill. I reckon I could kick kick this boulder between those trees.
Yep.
And you're fucking about on top of a mountain, and you're like, right, go on then. And then like, you get a little Korok seed. You're like, oh, they knew.
Yeah.
Oh, the wonder, the design, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, they can do a lot less effort in Pokemon Legends Arceus and still get that same emotion out of me. So yeah, it's really nice to see. I don't think it's going to be Game of the Year. Obviously, none of the other games have come out yet, but it's just a really great Pokemon game.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how fundamentally great a video game it is.
Okay, that's interesting.
But I'm having a fantastic time, and
that's good.
I can't wait to play it again tonight.
I mean, that's all you can ask for. Like, does the game make you want to play it? Yeah, then it's done what it should have. It's done what it should have been doing.
Yeah.
Anything else? Oh, I was going to say anything else, Ev?
Halo Infinite. I'm making my way through that, but obviously Legends Arceus came out, and I've not put it down. But I'm really enjoying Halo Infinite. It doesn't have the same. It's not bringing me back to it in the same way that Legends Arceus is.
Yeah.
But I am enjoying it, and the mechanics are tight and really enjoyable. And I'm having a good time with it, but I just think it lacks a little something.
Yeah, the best parts about that game is the mechanics. And you could probably get most use from it by playing the multiplayer, I imagine. So
yeah, the multiplayer is still phenomenal.
Yeah,
for Halo Infinite, but yeah, the campaign is. I'm about a third of the way through the campaign. I think I might just start mainlining the main missions, and because I know I'll be playing multiplayer on it for a long time to come, to be like, oh, you know what, I'm bored. Let's do a couple of those side quests. Get a couple of, and actually the one thing I am gonna 100% within the campaign is you can find different multiplayer skins.
Yes, you can.
So that is a really nice touch.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But yeah, Jonny, what have you been playing?
Well, I'm gonna keep it because I haven't finished the game yet. But I guess I've already beaten the game, so it's not really like a spoilery thing. And this game has been out for about 5 years. But I've been playing Uncharted 5. I said last week that I was going to buy the
Uncharted 5.
Uncharted 4. Sorry, Uncharted 4. I said this earlier. Uncharted 5. It's because I'm thinking of what is the other game? I can never remember.
Lost Legacy.
I always think Lost Legacy is 5. It technically isn't, but it also technically is. Anyway, I've been playing Uncharted 4, and I'm just going to run through like a load of like very quick things. Yeah. It might be like that game might be one of the best looking games I've ever seen in my life, and it's 5 years old.
Wow.
It plays so well on the PS5. It looks beautiful and runs smooth as butter. Like it is a really, really like the story is really good. Like Naughty Dog have perfected how to make that single player third person story driven game. Like, and it's the best one of all of the Uncharted games by far. The thing that annoys me still isn't actually, do you know what, like my favorite part of the game isn't the combat. It's the navigating around the world and finding all these little treasures and being on an adventure. The combat genuinely pisses me off. Like it genuinely infuriates me every now and then because like remember like when we did Rank the Jank? Yeah. And you said that like the gun just does this. It just has, if you can't see what I'm doing, because if you're listening to it, I'm basically waving my arms around all over the place. And I get that like they wanted that idea of like having is it recoil? Is that what it is when like you're shooting a gun and you get that feeling of like the gun is, you know, you're losing control of it slightly. But it's frustrating because it's hard to actually aim properly.
Sure. And
not in a good, like, not in a fun way, you know? Like, some third-person games nail down shooting. Like, they've nailed it. Like, Last of Us, part, like, 1 and 2, like, they do a better job of it. But it is interesting because it feels more like The Last of Us than the other Uncharted games do. And I said this earlier, but this is the game where Druckmann, what's his name? Oh, my God. Neil Druckmann, because we've been talking about Jason Schrier, just saw him, my best friend. Neil Druckmann took over about 2 years into development and basically said, they just come off making The Last of Us and they basically said, let's just make an Uncharted Last of Us, pretty much. And you can feel that. You can feel that in the way that it plays. it is a phenomenal game, and I'm really excited to play the Lost Legacy. Like, I'm genuinely more. I bought that collection purely for the second game because I hadn't played it, and it was £10.
Yeah.
So, like, if I'd played Lost Legacy, I wouldn't be playing this game now. But I was like, I've got time. Let's revisit a game that I haven't played in 5 years, and I'm glad I am. I'm really enjoying it. The story is awesome. The only thing I hate about the game is the combat. It sucks, and I don't really know what else to say. I'm just glad in a way that it doesn't dominate the game, because if it did, I'd be like, I want to stop playing.
Well, that was my issue with Uncharted 1, is that it's all combat.
Yeah.
It's all really janky combat, and it's all really janky climbing and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Uncharted 2 felt a bit better, but still had a lot of those issues. I do plan to play Uncharted 3 this year, at least. Maybe get onto Uncharted 4, but I'm slowly making my way through those Sony PS4 exclusives.
Yeah.
And I got a bit of a bitter taste in my mouth from Horizon Zero Dawn. So,
to be honest, I think with the Uncharted games as well, they're so, like, they are great, but like, I mean, I weirdly, I always liked them, but like, I never liked the combat. The combat I always felt janky. It's just interesting not having played one of them, because I played all 4 of them within like 3 months, because Uncharted 4 was coming out. And I was like, oh, I'll get the collection, I'll play them all. And I was nearly burnt out by the time I got to 4. But luckily 4 was, for me, the best one. It was the most refined combat-wise. And you don't like, it is more climbing and more adventuring than combat, which is good. That's how it should be. Like, it was funny because, like, I sent a picture to Dav earlier of something I unlocked, which is ludonarrative dissonance, which, if you don't know what that means, is basically where the gameplay and it's a terminology. Someone came up with it a couple of years ago as a thing where, like, the game is going against what the story is. So, like, you're doing things that the character wouldn't necessarily do. So, like, Rosie sat there next to me and goes, Nathan Drake kills an awful lot of people for someone that's, like, really nice. I'm like, yeah, he does. He just mows through people. So
headshot.
Yeah. It's really, really funny. And, like, to be fair, like, I think the way they do it, because he does get attacked first, I guess you can get away with saying that he's always on the defensive, so he can't just...
He doesn't always attack first, though. You can stealth kill people.
Oh, yeah, no, I like, he definitely does stealth kill people, but he's always, like... I guess he's always fearful that this person's going to murder him, I guess. Like, it's still a bit like...
Why is he there in the first place?
Well, stealing artifacts from other countries. He's doing a great British deed. Yeah. Something we've become famous for, but
Nathan Drake is a colonial nightmare, and he must be stopped.
But yeah, it's a great game. Just the combat's a bit crap. It's just it's one of those things where, like, you realize what like video game narratives can do, because it's really impressive and it looks gorgeous. And that's it. I've got nothing else. I think next week I'll probably talk about Lost Legacy, because I'm probably 3/4 of the way through. Apparently, a lot of people say Lost Legacy is the best one.
Yeah, hopefully,
because it's shorter and less action packed, so it's more less combat based. So I'm hoping that I'll have a good time, good time had by all. Woo! Is what I'll say. But that's it. We're done. Dav, are you ready to stream, baby?
Yeah, pretty much.
We'll stop there. I'll say my goodbyes, and then you can set up the stream. But thank you if you've watched this or listened to us. It's been a fun podcast this week. Next week we have apparently Dav Weeks turning up. Now,
baby.
If you've not met Dav Weeks before, he's the man of dreams. You know, like sometimes when I say I don't know, I hyperbole, I say things maybe. No. I'm not saying this about Dav Weeks. Oh no, he's the stuff of legends.
He is. He is a dreamboat.
Remember the time me and Zach spent like the first 5 minutes just talking about how much of a dreamboat Dav Weeks was?
He's just a dreamboat.
I'm not laughing about the fact that he is in a dreamboat. I'm laughing at the fact that we did spend the opening 10 minutes of a podcast saying how much of a dreamboat he is.
I've never been more comfortable with being the second best Dav in a room.
Me too. I've never been more comfortable being the second best Jonny in the room, and his name isn't even Jonny. No. But he is number one. But yeah, he is hopefully going to be here next week. And I know ACP in particular is very excited about that. But that is the end of podcast number 84. Wow. Thank you so much for listening today. We're going to have to start planning our 100th episode special. I don't know what we're going to do. It's coming soon.
Let's do a live episode.
Oh no, should we do a non-live episode? That's what we'll do, and then we'll spend the next 100 episodes doing.
Right, no, I've got it. Right now, we start learning Welsh. We do the whole episode in Welsh.
Perfect. Dad Weeks is already ready. He's fine. He's done. And it's gonna be hard for Zach. Zach can speak Japanese though. He can speak Japanese. It's fine.
Same thing.
I'll speak German, and by that I mean the 4 words that I know. But yeah, thank you so much for listening today. Like we said earlier, if you want to support us and go and give us our stars. We just want stars, baby. Just
give us all the stars in the world.
The stars. That's all we want. We just want some stars. Dad's going to go do some raiding, but we are going to end the podcast right there. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Thank you, Dav. Have a lovely stream, and we'll see you all next week.
Tatty bye.
Ahoy!
Ahoy!